Skillibeng, born Emwah Warmington, has rapidly emerged as one of the most polarizing and impactful figures in contemporary dancehall. Hailing from the parish of St. Thomas in Jamaica, Skillibeng represents a new wave of artists who are challenging traditional ideas about what dancehall sounds like, looks like, and stands for. His rise to prominence is a story of risk, innovation, and calculated chaos, elements that have both earned him widespread acclaim and stirred fierce debate. In a genre often dominated by Kingston artists, Skillibeng's rural origins already made him an outsider. St. Thomas isn't traditionally known for producing mainstream dancehall stars, and that gave him a chip on his shoulder. Rather than imitate what was trending in Kingston, Skillibeng leaned into his uniqueness. His sound, dark, unorthodox, and experimental, quickly set him apart from his peers. His breakout moment came with the 2019 release of Brik. The song's simple, hypnotic chorus, paired with his almost minimalist delivery, became a viral anthem. It wasn't conventionally lyrical or melodically rich, but it had raw energy and authenticity. Brik didn't just introduce Skillibeng, it announced that something different was brewing in dancehall. What followed was a wave of releases that blurred genre lines. Skillibeng often rapped more than he DJ'd, and his flows borrowed from trap music as much as they did from traditional dancehall. Songs like Coke, Torpedo, and Bin Laden featured surreal themes and aggressive production. He wasn't afraid to take risks, even when they didn't fully land. Critics were split. Some argued that Skillibeng's music lacked structure or lyrical depth. Others praised him for pushing the genre forward and attracting a new generation of listeners. What's clear is that Skillibeng tapped into something real, a desire for unpredictability and a rejection of formula. One of the things that made Skillibeng successful was his savvy use of social media. He understood how to make songs that trended, not just musically, but as content. Whether people were praising or trolling him, they were talking. In the digital age, attention is currency, and Skillibeng knew how to bank it. Another part of his appeal was his mystique. He didn't flood interviews or appear overly polished. Instead, he maintained an aura of unpredictability, often appearing distant or cryptic in public appearances. This added to his mystique and built an image that fans and critics alike tried to decode. Skillibeng also showed a keen understanding of global culture. He collaborated with international artists like Nicki Minaj on the remix of Crocodile Teeth, a song that started as a street hit and ended up on playlists across North America. The track's success cemented him as more than just a local phenomenon. Crocodile Teeth was a turning point. It proved that his unconventional style had global potential. The beat was sparse, his flow deliberate, and the hook instantly memorable. Nicki Minaj's cosign brought new eyes to his work and validated his potential as a crossover artist. Still, Skillibeng didn't abandon his core audience. He continued to release tracks aimed at the streets, raw, aggressive, and often controversial. This duality became a defining trait. Skillibeng could jump from mainstream features to underground grime without losing momentum. He also gained a reputation for his prolific output. At one point, it felt like he was releasing a new song every week. This helped him stay relevant in a fast-moving digital world where the demand for new content never stops. His volume of work kept fans engaged and critics on their toes. His debut project, The Prodigy, received mixed reviews but was undeniably a statement. It wasn't just a collection of singles, it was a chaotic manifesto that reflected the unpredictability of the artist himself. Some songs soared, others stumbled, but it all felt authentically Skillibeng. Skillibeng's fashion and visual identity also played a role in his rise. He didn't follow the flashy, jewelry-heavy look of traditional dancehall stars. Instead, his aesthetic was darker, more street, often wearing masks or understated clothes that leaned into the trap-dancehall image. Through it all, he remained polarizing. To some, he was the future of dancehall, a necessary disruptor shaking up a stagnant scene. To others, he was an overhyped anomaly. But even his harshest critics had to admit one thing: he was impossible to ignore. In many ways, Skillibeng represents a generational shift. Younger fans connected with his experimentation and raw emotion, while older heads struggled to reconcile his style with the dancehall they grew up on. This generational divide became part of the conversation around his music. His influence is now evident in a new crop of dancehall artists experimenting with unconventional sounds and flows. Love him or hate him, Skillibeng has opened doors for artists who don't fit the traditional mold. His impact on the genre is undeniable. Beyond music, Skillibeng's success has started to expand into branding and fashion, with an eye on creating a lifestyle brand that reflects his image and worldview. As dancehall artists increasingly become global cultural figures, Skillibeng is positioning himself to ride that wave. Still young in his career, Skillibeng's next moves will be crucial. Can he maintain his momentum while evolving his sound? Will he lean more into pop appeal or double down on the street energy that made him famous? Whatever he chooses, one thing is certain: he will do it on his own terms. In a world that often rewards imitation, Skillibeng's greatest strength has been his willingness to be different. Whether praised or mocked, he remains authentic to himself, a chaotic, creative force in a genre that sometimes fears change. Ultimately, Skillibeng's success in the dancehall scene isn't just about hits or controversy. It's about challenging the status quo and redefining what a dancehall star can look and sound like in the 21st century. He didn't just enter the scene, he shook it up. If dancehall is a reflection of the Jamaican experience, then Skillibeng is holding up a new kind of mirror. One cracked, unpredictable, and fascinating. And through that mirror, we're all watching what comes next.